This is the Sports Porch, Philadelphia, with your hosts, the Grand Schwalbini, Rube, and me, your technical director. Come on, Philly, show us a little Eagles, Flyers, Phillies, and Sixers love. The Philadelphia Sports Porch starts now.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Tuesday night edition of the Sports Porch Philadelphia. I am the Grand Schwalbini. I am here with Rube, a lifelong Philly fan living in Austin, Texas. How are you this evening, Rube?
I'm well. I'm looking forward to winding down the work week and taking some holiday and spending time with the fam next week. Or actually, I don't even know who's all going to be here, but at least three of the four of us. And
Nice.
it's a great time of year. It's there's a chill in the air in Austin, Texas, and the playoffs are coming.
Yeah. So, thank you for tuning in. If you are on X, remember to click follow if you haven't already. If you're on YouTube at the Philadelphia Sports Porch, remember to hit that subscribe button for us. After every show, we put this out into podcast form, and you can, listen to that on, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcast. So what we're going to do, if you didn't catch it, we did a little post-game live after the Eagles-Raiders game. So we pretty much covered that game. I'm just going to leave you with one highlight here just to kind of put us back in the mood for a minute, and then we'll get.
Hurts delivers, Brown, touchdown! And now this touchdown here in the slot to A.J. Brown. I think they've checked every box that Nick Sirianni wanted to, coming here back at home. 3-game losing streak, trying to get back on track down the stretch in December, and I don't think it could have gone any better today for the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, man. I love seeing Jalen all pumped up.
Yeah. I've thought about the win throughout the week, and I mean, listen, we should have killed that team. We took care of business, I think, is the best way to say it. But seeing him throw good balls and spread it around and get Dallas Goedert involved, we spoke about it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
The offense finally looked good. We'll see a bigger test perhaps this weekend and definitely against Buffalo in a couple weeks. But listen, we'll take the win. And we'll go onward. Took care of business. That's just the best way I can say it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But something did happen since we talked post-game live, and that was just the joy of watching Dallas crumble against the lowly Minnesota Vikings.
We were talking about it during the show, and we're like, if Dallas wins out and they've got an easier schedule, and then them watching them fall to pieces against Minnesota was beautiful.
It was beautiful. And look, I mean, so you live in Austin, so I'm gonna assume, I guess, what do you have kind of like a split between Houston fans and Dallas fans where you are?
Yeah, it's a heavy Dallas. You see a lot more stars on shirts and jackets and hats than you do Texans. So it's been actually quite a joy to live here for the past 26 years because the Eagles have been so good and the Cowboys have just been not so good.
Was there a lot of talk around the water cooler, just kind of like, what happened, man? What happened?
Yeah. So there's two guys that sit right across from me. They both went to A&M, and they're both big Cowboy fans, and they're just shaking their head and saying, Jerry's got to sell the team. We're just never going to be good until Jerry sells the team. And if I had a nickel for every time I've heard that, I'd be a rich man. So it's good, and it's just been painful for them. And it's fun to see, and it's even more fun when I wear like my Dawkins jersey to work after we win the Super Bowl. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's, it's like, and even their great kicker missed a couple kicks.
Yeah, that's unreal. Man, that guy is unbelievable though, isn't he?
Uh-huh. I mean, I'll tell you, it looks like he's not even moving his leg when he kicks. It's just like a little, and it just goes so far. But I'll tell you what, that JJ McCarthy, I mean, he looks like he's got promise. I don't know about you. I feel like he throws the ball too hard.
Yeah,
Like,
he rifles the ball. He's got a good arm, but I don't know. I think these guys. I'll go down my soapbox for a second. I think these guys come into the league and they start too fast. I really do. It used to be where they'd get a couple of years behind someone, learn, and right now they just throw these guys to the wolves. And I don't think Minnesota's doing themselves any favors by trying to push him as a starter. Why would you get rid of a guy like Darnold who won 14 games last year and is doing it again this year with Seattle?
right.
Just because you got to get the most out of these guys before you pay them, right? So you got to see what they can do. You don't have to pay the quarterback a lot. You can pay all these other stud players, and then they lose their confidence. But they're good quarterbacks, right? You see this guy Mac Jones, different scenario. He's been played well for San Francisco. You could probably go down the list of guys where it's helped them to either get a new change of scenery or that they've had time to develop. So we'll see. I don't think. Listen, if I had to bet my house on it, I would bet he would not be a top 10 quarterback in this league ever.
Yeah,
Maybe top 20, top 25, but I don't think so.
I tend to agree with you. And the great news is that because they lost, then the Eagles' magic number is 1. So if they go out and they beat Washington, who, by the way, Washington announced that Jaden Daniels is now shut down for the year.
Smart move by them.
Yep. So there's no Jaden Daniels. If we win this week, we win the NFC East and we're in the playoffs. There's actually a 0.5% chance of the Dallas Cowboys making the playoffs. So they think it's 0.5% that we will lose 3 and they will win 3.
If that happened, we're out. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, because if that happened, we would be 9-7, 9-8, and they would be 9-7-1.
Hey, listen, you can never say never, but the fact of the matter is what more could you ask for? 2 games against a team who's had a really bad season, who's lost their who's not going to play their quarterback. If we were to lose those games, we'd deserve to be out of the playoffs. But we'll see what happens, and we'll take it from there. Let me ask you this, and maybe we talk about this in the upcoming weeks. If we win this week, and so that means we win the East.
Mm-hmm.
Do you shut everyone down? Does our seed change, or are we still going to be like the 3 seed?
Well, we're the 3 seed now. We still have the 2 seed in play.
Okay.
I mean, technically, we have the 1 seed in play, but the Rams aren't going to lose 3 games, right?
Yeah, man. They just every week I'm looking for them to fall apart, and every week they just look better. Now losing Devontae Adams
hurts a little bit,
but we'll have to see.
But
they
here's
lose
the thing,
Adams.
actually,
They lose Adams, and then Micah Parsons goes down for the Packers. I want everyone to get in a bubble and win the game and get in a bubble, and let's go make a playoff run.
Yeah. Now I will say this. Now this is just, it doesn't really mean anything, but if you're into statistics at all, there's a huge difference between being the 2 seed and being the 3 seed in terms of making the Super Bowl.
Tell me more.
So in the last 10 years, with each division having 1 team make the Super Bowl, so that's a total of 20 teams have made the Super Bowl in the last 10 years, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
80% of them, 16 out of 20, were 1 or 2 seeds. So, I believe that it was only 1 3 seed made the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah. So it is a big difference, because, and I think what that kind of comes down to is, if it happens to be one of those years where that 1 seed loses in the first round, then the 2 seed has home field for the championship game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big deal, right?
What were we last year? We
We were 2.
We were 2, and that
Mhm.
the Lions lost, and there we go.
Right. So let's turn it now to the Phillies. The Phillies made a very interesting pickup, Adolis Garcia. This guy actually has quite a personality. I don't know how much you paid attention to him. Like maybe in Texas, you probably followed him on the Texas Rangers when he hit 8 home runs in a playoff series.
Yeah,
Or
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the when he won the AL MVP. Yeah, he was, but he's been down. He's been down for a couple of years.
And he's got a gun, man. They say he's one of the best outfielders in the league.
Yeah, I was reading about that, and I saw that. Yeah, he's an above average outfielder. He hits about the same as Castellanos, who obviously is going to be gone. But if you shore up that corner outfielder position, and he can get his bat back, and let's be realistic. I don't see what is it, Kevin Long? Is that his name? Our hitter, our hitting instructor.
Yeah.
I don't see him changing a lot of bad hitting habits on our team.
Right.
So should we be confident that that Adolis is going to find his stroke again under this regime? I'm being a little Negadelphia, but we've got 3 years of playoff experience that tells us he hasn't been able to fix a lot of swings out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point. I will say this, though. One of the things about Adolis Garcia is he's similar to Nick Castellanos in that, he's going to strike out a lot, and he's got a lot of power. But he's different than Castellanos in that he's one of the best right fielders in the league. He's got a great arm, got great movement to make, diving catches. And the other thing is that his ceiling is way higher than Nick Castellanos. So like, for example, he had a year where he hit 39 home runs, So, and look, I think a lot of the time when you're dealing with home run hitters, they kind of have 2 good years, throw in a down year here and there. You know what I mean? Look, if he has a down, his down year last year was, I think, hitting 225, 20 homers, 75 RBIs, and if he does that with good defense, then we've upgraded, but he's got the ability to do a lot more than that. So we'll see. Look, I still wish they would bring back Harrison Bader. So we'll see.
Bader wants 3 years.
I got a little highlight reel for Adolis Garcia. Forgive me, it's a little long.
Hey, before you show it,
okay.
Have you caught the nickname?
No, what's the nickname?
El Bombi. ELBOMBI.
El Bombi.
So how bad, how exciting is it going to be to have a guy that's got a nickname that starts with L?
I like
El Bombi. All right. Run the clip.
All right.
Grand Schwalbini.
And that one in the air. Deep out to right field. Rosarena is back. Gone! And there it goes. The first home run for Garcia. Third of the night. Adolis Garcia with a walk-off home run. Is this game tied? It is tied!
Oh, yeah. And a rocket up the middle. And he has stretched it to a double.
got the great arm. The throw is on time, and they got him. Near the wall for Garcia, and he got it! What a catch by Adolis Garcia!
This one is through on a line, left field and gone! Adolis Garcia makes his statement. It drives one the other way, down the line. If it's fair, he's got another! He does! He owns Houston. Stopped at third as Walker runs through the stop sign. Garcia guns him down. Adolis Garcia sends one the other way. That sends Carroll back. He's at the line, and the legend grows. Adolis Garcia wins game one.
That was pretty exciting, wasn't it?
That was pretty exciting. I like his personality. I think that's going to be fun. Him and Durantula and
Right. I mean, that's big. We said that about Harrison Bader. I mean, he brings some, energy to the team,
Yeah, I love that. So do you think we're all set? So a lot of the news today is, hey, Dombrowski is saying the Phils are set in the outfield, right? It'll be Marsh, it'll be Crawford. They're going to bring the kid up and give him a chance to win the starting job, and then Garcia in right field. Boy, I would. I'd like to see Bader come back because I think he does bring energy. But maybe they realize, I think he's looking for 3 years,
Right.
and the Phils just weren't ready to give him 3 years or pay for that. And it looks like this guy is kind of the energy guy, and we could be done with this Castellanos stuff. So,
Right.
and all that to say, I'm not a Castellanos hater. He drives me nuts when he.
I loved Castellanos.
Yeah,
I
enjoyed him. He didn't come up big. He you and I could have struck him out with that outside pitch. It's ridiculous. It's almost become a meme. But he made big plays in the outfield. As bad as he was as an outfielder, and the stats all stand behind that. He did come up big when we needed him, and he would go on streaks and he would carry us. So I don't know what was said in the clubhouse to Topper. Maybe we can ask Topper when we get a chance to interview him in the spring. I don't think he's going to tell us, but if we don't get to talk about him again in the future, thanks, Casty. I loved it, and I love the scenes with his kid.
Yeah, I mean, Casty was cool, and in a way, for a guy that let you down an awful lot with swinging at that outside pitch, he also still came up with a lot of clutch moments.
He did.
So I enjoyed him. I enjoyed just his personality when he came to the team, and he was like, I don't have a college degree. I just hit baseballs.
Yeah, he's always good for an interesting interview, but we move on.
Yeah, he wants to play every day. So, I mean, nobody's going to trade for him. They're going to have to release him.
Yeah.
If it was going to happen, it probably would have happened already,
Well, the whole world knows. I mean, cats and dogs know that the Phillies are trying to trade this guy. So,
right.
Who's gonna?
I would say, going back to Bader though, I would feel so much more comfortable. I mean, doesn't this make a lot more sense? Wouldn't you rather have Garcia in right, Bader back in center field, and then you play, Crawford in left, and Marsh is like your fourth outfielder. So anybody's hurt, Marsh plays. Maybe right-handed pitcher's going and somebody's not hitting great against righties, you play Marsh, right? He's still going to end up, in that kind of a role, he's still going to end up playing like 125 games, So, to me, that would be depth, right? So, Crawford gets hurt. Okay, now you've got, Marsh in there. Garcia gets hurt. Okay, now Marsh goes to right. Yeah, you know what I mean? I just think that we're still keeping it a little too thin there.
Yeah. Essentially what I've read is They want to sign. Obviously they've signed Schwarber. They want JT back. I think there's just only so much money they're willing to dole out for an outfielder who may not play every day and wants a 3-year deal.
Yeah, and I think they do want the international pitcher. That there's a lot of talk that one of the big international pitchers wants to play on the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
like one of like the Japanese or the Korean pitchers.
Yeah, it's one of those guys. I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's just like, you know what? Like, I don't want to be like everybody else and go to the Dodgers. I want to be on a team that beats the Dodgers.
Right on. Okay.
So yeah.
So he wants to be on the Yankees. Got it.
Yes. Now you brought up Chase Utley to me today.
Yeah.
And as I understand it, there's a lot of talk that he's gaining some steam as a potential Hall of Fame entrant, maybe this year even.
Yeah.
You want to talk just a little bit about that? And I do have a video.
Yeah. So Chase he started off in the 20s. I'm directional numbers here in like the teens in the 20s. I think he got into the 30s last year. You have to get to 50. There's not a gigantic backlog. I mean, Kent finally got in after all those years.
Right.
So essentially timing could be good for him. And you could argue either way, right? He really is 50-50. The 5 years or so when the Phillies were winning the World Series and he was just the best player, one of the best players on the planet, were great. But leading up to that, he was a little bit of a late bloomer. And then after that, wasn't the same. So if you take those 5 years in isolation, certainly Hall of Fame credentials, it would be great. Listen, it's always great to see a Philly get in, and I think he's universally loved, at least by all Philly fans, with the way he played. And he brought a World Series here. So I think to Phillies fans, hey, it's a no-brainer. But if you look at his whole body of work, comparison to other people that are coming due for their ballot, it may be a tough road. What say you? Is he a Hall of Famer in your book?
I think he is, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a homer. I think that, at least from my vantage point, the majority of these guys who are voting on it, what they will tell you that they look at the most is, for a particular period of time, which is, basically saying like for a 5, 6, 7 year window, were they the best player at their position, or one of the two best, right? And I think that's the case for him. I think you look at that 5, 6 year stretch, there wasn't really a second baseman much better. I don't know. I mean, did Roberto Alomar play during that time? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember. That might have been after. But here's a couple challenges he's facing. You ready? Doesn't have 2,000 hits. Doesn't have 300 home runs. And he's coming up in future ballots against Buster Posey, Miguel Cabrera, and Pujols. So those will be tough ballots to go and get. But it looks like he's close to 40%. He's at the high end of the 30s. I'd love to see him in. Yes, there was no one better in baseball than him in those 5 years. But some of those big milestones avoided him, or he missed some of those big milestones. So we'll have to see.
Let's check out some highlights. And then I have to tell you, one of the great thing about listening to these highlights is also just listening to Harry Callis.
Yeah, I know.
So this one also was a little long. Make a motion if you want me to stop it at any point.
Okay.
But it's just enjoyable. Here we go.
Long drive, could it be? It is out of here! Grand slam home run, Chase Utley. Welcome to the show, Mr. Utley. It is 6-0 Phillies.
His first big league hit.
Runner at second, 2 out, and Iwamura grounds one up the middle. Utley, good play. Has no play at first, throws home, and is the call to end the inning. Bartlett kept running as Utley hung on to the baseball instead of throwing to first. Looks to first, fakes to first, comes home. Alert play by Utley.
Driven to deep left center field. This ball is extra bases. One hopping off the fence. Nunez scores. Rollins scores. Flying around third. Victorino. He scores a bases loaded double. Chase Utley. And the Phillies have taken a 5-3 lead here in the 7th inning. Big clutch blow by the watch. Right on the heels of J-Roll. There goes Chase, and this is chopped to McBride, who throws it. Chase is going to keep going, and he's safe at home plate. Wow. Chase Utley, you are the man. Wow, what a base running play after a bases clearing. Line drive hit to right field. Here comes Iguchi. The throw to the plate. Phillies win 11-10 on an RBI single by Chase Utley. What a huge win. What a huge Utley. Long drive. This game is over. The Phillies have won it out of here. Chase Utley, a 2-out 10th inning home run, and the Phillies have won it in 10 by a score of 3-2, and his teammates come storming out to home plate to mob Chase Utley.
In the air to right field. Way back there. Stanton's going back. It is all over. A 2-run 14th inning home run for Chase Utley. Walks this baby off. The Phillies out. Bell shoots one to second. Chase Utley. Oh my goodness. He saved the day for now.
Well hit, could it be? It is out of here! 2-run home run, a walk-off homer, Chase Utley.
In the air to right. Back is Ethier at the wall. This game is tied.
And there you go.
You're
They
right,
didn't
man. You're
They
right.
they didn't even cover the 6 home runs against the Yankees or something. you know. How
Dude,
about,
I can listen. I can listen to.
Pat Burrell running out there? All
I know. I
pumped?
saw Pat the Bat out there. He never got excited. But you're right. I love my favorite part of that. I like watching Chase. I own one Phillies jersey, and it is Chase Utley, as I see on your hanging on your door right there.
Yep.
So he is beloved. But I love listening to Harry Callis. That really brings back awesome memories.
Yeah, it is good, man. Also too, like, that the call of Mike Schmidt's 500th home run.
Michael Jack.
That was awesome too.
Yeah.
And the Michael Jack home run against Montreal. Do you remember that one? He buried it.
Hey, your imitation of Harry Callis isn't as good as your imitation of Jason Statham. I've been thinking about that one for weeks.
You're right. Okay. Well, so we'll see what else the Phillies have in store. But I guess so far so good, right?
I love Chase Utley too.
Okay.
Oh, the peanut gallery.
Peanut gallery. That's the wife. She likes Chase Utley too, as they call him now. He's a silver fox.
He's living international. I think he was living over in England or something like that.
Yeah, he's like promoting baseball in the UK.
Yeah. Do you know who my kid's favorite? You know who my kid's favorite was back then? I'll give you one. I'll give you two guesses. It wasn't Chase. It wasn't Chase Utley.
Philly?
A favorite Philly in that same era.
Right. Is it going to be somebody obvious or no?
He was very instrumental in us winning. Yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay.
But he wouldn't be it wasn't like Roy Halladay, right?
Right. Okay. So that would mean it's not going to be Ryan Howard.
It was not Ryan Howard.
Right. I'm going to say Shane Victorino.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. They loved Shane. They called him Shane Victorino. And I'll remember that till the day I die. So
Shane was clutch, man. Hit the grand slam off CC Sabathia.
Shane was a great ball player. He was every bit as valuable as those other guys, I would say.
Yeah,
he brought the
awesome.
energy. He brought the energy.
All right, Rube. So now is the point of the show where we're going to try to talk a little Flyers and we're going to try to talk a little Sixers.
I love the way you've positioned that.
Which one do you want to talk about first? I mean, look, here's the thing. Like, in all seriousness, both of these teams, we really haven't had a heck of a lot to look forward to lately. And we got to give them a little credit. I mean, they are both playing well and are essentially in playoff position in the standings. I think the difference is why it's not nearly as fun, or you can't get as enthused about it as compared to like the Eagles and the Phillies, is because the Eagles and the Phillies have legitimate shots to win the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And we just feel like, at least I feel, the Flyers and the Sixers don't have a legitimate shot as of now. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. And having to choose, I think all of our fans know this by now, is given the choice of having to speak about the Sixers or anything else on earth, I'd pick anything else on earth. But I'm trying to turn over a new leaf this year, and look forward to what's coming at us. They're beating the. Let's talk Sixers, right? Let's talk Sixers.
Okay, so right now, just so you know, they're currently in the 6th seed in the East. They are 14-11. They are 6.5 games out of the Detroit Pistons that are 21-5, and they are. But I'll tell you what, at the same time, they're just 1 game out of the 3 seed as well.
It's early. It's early. It's early quarters or early innings, as they say in baseball. Listen, but, it's weird. You just don't know what you're going to get from this team every night. Mm-hmm. Embiid scores 39. Where did that come from? Mm-hmm. We play. I think we're to the point now where we're beating teams we should beat. And I kind of feel like when we play like a team like the Lakers or the Hawks, who may be just a little bit better than us, mm-hmm. we're not able to win those games for some reason. And I don't understand. I think we got a little bit over our skis when they were beating a team like the Celtics, because mm-hmm. I think the Celtics aren't the same team they've been for the past probably 5 or 6 years. Mm-hmm. And we see them as a great team to beat. But I think we're going to be challenged, right? We've got the Knicks coming up as I think our next game. Is that right? I think we got the Knicks coming. They're in first mm-hmm. place, and mm-hmm. we'll test our mettle. I think Maxey was out for illness, so he should be getting back healthy here soon. And if we can get, and Paul George is looking a little bit better, dare I say, with Embiid, he's the second leading scorer on the team. He's not playing every night, but he's the second leading scorer on the team.
I mean, we do have 6 players that are averaging over 15 points a game.
Yeah. And I like, what I like? I like Nick Nurse saying, I'm excited about this team. Mm-hmm. I like the energy that he's bringing. It looks like these guys actually enjoy playing with one another. And it doesn't feel like every other season for the past decade or so, there's been some sort of drama. There's no drama this year. Going out and playing ball and doing the best we can. And we have some young guys playing great ball, and Maxey is playing MVP ball. So they're actually a pretty good watch, I would say. But we'll see. I don't think they're going to win the championship. It'll be nice to see them maybe win a playoff series, but I don't think I would bet my house on it.
I agree. And I also think too, I would give Morey a little bit of credit. I mean, no, look, there's a lot that he did wrong, like Harden, Paul George, et cetera. But, I'll tell you what, he does. First of all, he does draft well. He drafted Maxey, he drafted Edgecombe, right?
Mm-hmm. And McCain.
Let's not give up on McCain yet. Well, I also think he's got kind of a knack for finding good role players too. Like
Okay.
Kelly Oubre is a pretty darn good role player. He averages 16.8 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.1 steals, 0.8 blocks. I mean, that's a pretty good role player. Quentin Grimes is a pretty good role player,
Where did we pick Quentin Grimes up? Because he's a good player. He's young.
It was a trade. We traded somebody for him.
All right. Let me look at
So he's got 16.2 points per game. He's got 4.2 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 1 steal a game. And there's also there's a couple guys on the bench who are actually pretty good. And every now and then, they put up a pretty monster game, like Watford and Barlow.
Yeah, if they ever play, those guys always seem to be hurt for some reason.
Yeah, but Watford's averaging 9 points a game, Barlow's averaging 8 points a game. And what you'll see is, for whatever reason, I guess if they get off to a hot start in a game, Nurse might play them a lot. And you might have a Watford game where he scores 25.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a pretty good knack, I think, for finding role players too. Even that Justin Edwards, I mean, he can light it up from 3 at times as well.
Yep. So, hey, listen, it's early, and maybe it being early is a good thing. Maybe Embiid, plays more games. Maybe he starts to feel better. He's obviously has a little bit of rhythm on the floor now when he does play. You get McCain back playing confident and healthy. You see how Edgecombe does as a rookie in the long season, and you get some contributions. And maybe I think the NBA trade deadline or whatever, the trade season starts here soon. I think it's sometime in December. Maybe we go and pick somebody up that can help us get to the next level. So we'll see.
And you were mentioning a little earlier, are there any unsung heroes on the Sixers, right?
Yeah.
And you were mentioning Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
Andre Drummond is 12th in the league in rebounds.
Yeah.
And he plays 15 minutes a game? I mean, 20 minutes a game, maybe. I don't know.
He plays quite a. I was looking at this earlier. Where are my Sixers stats? All right, Andre Drummond. He's playing 21. He's playing 21 point. He's playing 21 minutes a game.
Right, but here's what I'm getting at. So he's 12th in rebounding at 21.4 minutes a game, 9.4 rebounds a game. Everybody in front of him, except, well, first of all, everybody in front of him has played more minutes. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 11 in front of him average more than 30 minutes a game. So, including like Djokovic, Novak Djokovic. Jokic averages 35 minutes a game. So I mean, look, in that amount of time, 21.4 minutes to be 12th in the league and 9.4 rebounds, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's getting his minutes, and we need those minutes from him. And dare I say, Andre Drummond better than the Joker
at rebounds per minute.
At rebounds per minute, yeah. Hey, listen, it's not to have a big guy like that can play and can eat up space and eat up minutes, while and this guy Dem Bona, they're doing a yeoman's job, filling in the middle for Embiid, and maybe one of them develop and can start scoring a little bit. But the fact of the matter is we need them to play defense and rebound. We don't need them to score. So we're going to be an outside shooting team, and it appears we're going to be a run and gun team. There's 120 to 117 the other night. They're opening it up, and they're a fun watch. They're actually a fun watch this year. So I'm not going to negative town, but I'm not giving them the world championship either.
All right. Okay.
Let's talk some Flyers. I'm excited. Let's talk about some Flyers.
Okay, let's talk some Flyers. Oh yes, and Leslie says Victorino.
Yeah. The kids had nicknames. It was Chase Ugly. It was Shane Victorino, and it was Ho Ho Howard.
Okay, I got you. She put
Yeah.
Ho Ho Howard on there too.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, hey, before we talk a little Flyers here, let's
Yes.
just remind everybody, if you're watching on X, it's at Philly Porch. Click the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, it's at Philadelphia Sports Porch. Subscribe. We'd like to grow that YouTube audience. And if you're watching on Facebook, just like the page. So okay, the Philadelphia Flyers.
Where can they see us on Facebook at Philadelphia Beautiful?
They can see us at Philadelphia Beautiful and also on the Philadelphia Sports Porch Facebook page.
Perfect. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Philadelphia Flyers right now are in a wild card position, tied at 38 points with Boston, who is also in the wild card position. The record is 16-9-6. They did finally lose back-to-back shootouts.
I was thinking about that this weekend, man. We were so close. And Carolina's not a pushover of a team. And then Zegras missed his first shot in the first one, and Urson was great again, and we couldn't get one in. I didn't see the shootout from the second night.
So here's the thing. I mean, obviously the record's good. For I don't know that we're really coming into this year expecting to be a playoff team. So at the moment, the record is good. I will point out, however, that they have done so well in the shootout, and they bring almost every game to overtime. So in the Eastern Conference, they're second to last in regulation wins. Okay, so
second to last in regulation wins.
Yeah, so like for example, Florida right now, okay, the two-time defending Stanley Cup champions, they're 2 points behind the Flyers. Okay, they've got 15 regulation wins. The Flyers have 9 regulation wins. Okay, so that's something to kind of keep your eye on as well. Now, this is something that is actually kind of crazy. When I was watching one of the games at some point in the past week, somebody was going over, like in an intermission, they were going over, I think it was ESPN, but I'm not 100% sure, like NHL power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the Flyers ranked 9th.
Hmm.
To me, I'm like, there's no way.
No.
There's no way. There is no way. Now, the interesting thing about the Flyers and really just hockey in general is there's so much parity. So the Flyers have 38 points. The number one team in the East has 44 points. So that's basically 6 points off. You get 2 points for a win. That's basically you're only 3 games behind the number one team. At the same time, the very last team in the East has 32 points. So you're just 6 games. You're just 6 points above, or 3 games above being the worst team in the league.
Yeah, there is a lot of parity in hockey, that's for sure.
Yeah, so
it's encouraging. Sorry, go ahead, please.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say it's encouraging. The improvement's encouraging. I see them giving up less goals. Right, their defense is definitely better than it's been. Vladar has been a really pleasant surprise. The number one, our number one point guy is a guy who wasn't even on the team last year in the Zegras, who is coming into his own as a Flyer, and it feels like it feels like they come out to play every night, and that's Tocchet, right? That's got Tocchet written all over it. So It used to be, well, look, it was back to back. We're going to lose 6-0, and that was by design. Blah 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 blah. Now it kind of feels like we can play with anybody. The Flyers can play with anybody in the league. I've only remember one game this season where they were just embarrassed and weren't in the same league, and it was against Tampa, and they just beat the hell out of the Flyers.
By the way,
eh,
breaking news: the Flyers have just tied it up 1-1 against the Montreal Canadiens.
the Canadiens,
And yes,
Los Habitants.
Carl Grundstrom somehow like keeps scoring goals.
Dude,
I don't
this
even
is
know.
like 5 games in a row, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
I know. But yeah, he actually the Canadians just scored with about 50 seconds left in the period, and Carl Grunstrom just answered just 30 seconds later.
Ooh, he's got a good hockey name, but he's
Yeah.
been kind of living in the minor leagues for a long time.
Right.
And who knows? Maybe he's coming into his own. Listen, I like watching the Flyers. The past 5 years has been a tough watch. There's no doubt about it. But they're an enjoyable team to watch. They play hard. They don't give up. They come from behind. Like you said, it's free hockey almost every night with overtime or shootout. And they've been very successful in those scenarios until this weekend, or until Konechny gives the puck away in his own zone and gives up a bad goal.
That was horrible, wasn't it?
That was horrible.
Yeah. The one thing that I'll say, just to bring up like a negative point, because why not?
Why not?
You know who honestly does just, I can't. There's one Flyer I kind of can't stand to watch anymore, and that's Sean Couturier.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the time is he needs to hang him up.
Like, do you remember like when his thing was like he never lost a faceoff?
Yep.
He never wins a faceoff now.
Yeah, he's not as successful. I actually saw him the other night. He did win a critical one in our own zone, but it used to be we sound like two old guys, but when it was him and Giroux, we never lost faceoffs ever. And when you start losing faceoffs, you really notice it.
Yeah, especially in overtime too.
Yeah, it's super critical.
Yeah.
But even when we won a faceoff the other night, it was the first overtime game against Carolina. We had the puck we kept giving, and Tippett kept giving the damn puck away. It was like we didn't know what to do with the puck when we got it for the short amount of time that we had it. So we got to get Michkov out there, and he's got to start playing better hockey. He really does.
And here's the other. I guess that's my one other beef. Like at what point? Like, why do we have to like teach Michkov lessons? Why can't we just let him skate around and do whatever the heck he wants and score a ton of goals? You know what I mean? Like as an example, right? Like, I'm not going to compare him to Sidney Crosby because that's another level, but let's compare him to a great player who maybe he could be like an Evgeny Malkin. Okay. Did anybody ever say to Evgeny Malkin, like, you need to learn to be, a defensive forward? You know what I mean? No, nobody did that. Malkin makes mistakes every single game. He never learned, but he scores a lot. He scores a lot. I mean, like, let's let this guy fly around. Like, I'm getting just like a little nervous that, like, at some point, is Mitchell just going to be like, what the hell, man? Like, when my contract's up, I'll go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, what do we got to teach him?
I think that's a fair rant. I really do. At the same time, my guess is that the what do you call it? The handcuffs are a little less on him than they were when Tortorella was here.
Right.
And he didn't come into this. He's got to grow up a little bit, right? He didn't come into the season in shape. He kind of gets that look on his face where he's a little annoyed. I want him to start growing up a little bit, and I'll give him a couple seasons, another season to grow up. But at some point, he's got to produce, right? If you're going to be a brat or you're going to come in with that attitude, you better freaking produce. And right now, he's not producing to the level we expect him to. I was reading something somewhere around, hey, what about, how could you stir up the pot at Thanksgiving dinner? It was an older article. What if you could get a haul for Michkov right now, 2 or 3 players, would you do it? Would you get a blue liner of the future and another goal scorer and maybe a draft pick?
Depends on how good they are. Depends on how good they are. I probably would have done it for Quinn Hughes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, for Quinn Hughes, I would have done it. But not many. I mean, I've got to have a defenseman that's an all-star, and some other teams top prospect that's scoring like crazy in the minors and just doesn't have room because he's on one of the best teams. You know what I mean? It'd have to be something like that. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, to me, the thing with Michkov is, look, I can sort of buy a little bit hey, if you want to limit his minutes playing 5-on-5 because you don't think he plays well defensively and needs to learn some things, I'm okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is going through overtime and not having him out on the ice.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. Yeah.
I mean, overtime, man, it's just all about skating.
Oh, yeah.
And he's amazing at it. He had 3 game-winning goals in overtime last year.
Yeah.
Get him out there.
Yeah. I agree. I'd like to see a little bit more Michkov.
All right. Rant's over.
Okay.
All right. Okay. We're going to our last segment today, which is my favorite because I created it. It is called
Okay, President Trump.
It's an incredible segment, probably the best segment you've ever seen. Everybody's talking about it.
I gotta have Luke come on. He does a good Trump. It's incredible.
Only I sounded like him. But so anyway, we all know how hard it is. Oh man, when I finished Mobland, Rob, I loved that show. And now you're like, oh, now what? What am I going to do? What's out there? And you look around and there's so many choices and you can't find anything. And, sometimes days go by until you find something that you're like,
days.
I think we got one. So, yeah. So we're going to save you that time. We're going to give you that time. We're going to put it in your back pocket and we're going to make you a hero. Because all you have to do is listen to the guys at the Sports. We're going to tell you 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. We might tell you about one of these, but, if you got one of these, it's pretty much a no-go. So, this way, you just say, hey, honey, I listened to the guys at Sports. They said this one was a lock. Let's roll. Okay. So, what we do is it's either a series or a movie. You have to watch the movie till the end. You have to watch the series at least to the end of one season to be able to review it. And we will start with Rube, who went back in time. He went back in time and watched this film, Stranger Than Fiction, starring Will Ferrell and Maggie Gyllenhaal, and I believe that's Dustin Hoffman.
Hoffman plays his psychologist, and Queen Latifah is in it, and Emma Thompson, right? And she was the writer.
That's a pretty good cast.
So this is one of my, indeed, a very good cast, and this is one of those movies. So the past couple of weeks, I went violent. I went vigilante. You can never go wrong with Statham. You can never go wrong with, Denzel as the equalizer. I think we did Nobody one week, and I still have a hard time with Bob Odenkirk as an enforcer, but we'll save that for another day.
He's good in that.
He is.
Yeah.
And this week I wanted to go back to this movie, Stranger Than Fiction. It stars Will Ferrell, and we just talked about all the other big actors in this movie, but it's a very different role for him. It's not a comedic role. He plays like this mild-mannered auditor who lives very deliberately and by his watch. And the plot of the story is that he is actually a character in a novel being written by an author who's played by Emma, I think it's Emma Thompson, and he starts hearing her voice, and he can't understand what's going on. And it's there's some romance, there's a love story in it, an unexpected love story with he and Maggie Gyllenhaal, and I just found it to be just a really nice movie. I think you can watch it with your wife. When I want to cry a little bit and I don't want my wife to see it, I'll watch it. It's not one you'd watch with the boys with a bunch of beers.
Doesn't sound like it, Rob.
No. But I'll tell you, it's a really good movie. I'm a big Will Ferrell fan. I think he's one of the funniest people ever.
For sure.
But I really like him in this role in a more in a non-comedic role, and I really love the story. I think it's really creative, and I think Maggie Gyllenhaal is just absolutely adorable in this movie as well. So if you're a fan of Gyllenhaal, the Maggie, the girl Gyllenhaal, and you like a good story and something a little different, check out Stranger Than Fiction.
Okay, Rube.
I give it 2 thumbs up.
All right. I just completed season 1 of Chad Powers.
I want to hear about this. All right, tell me. I'm interested.
Yeah, so do you have Hulu?
I do.
All right, so you can watch it. So
okay,
here's what I'm going to say. Amy and I do not do a lot of binge watching.
Okay.
We binge watch this.
Okay.
It's only 6 episodes. And it has been renewed for season 2, which is good because otherwise it would have sort of like ended on a cliffhanger. Okay. But I'll tell you what, this is going to be one of those. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. Okay.
Okay. All right.
But I will say this is definitely going to be one of those polarizing shows. You're either going to love it or hate it. Okay. And part of it, I think, depends on your sense of humor. So, for example, and this is the best I can sort of equate to it. Did you see Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes.
Did you like it?
No.
You might not like this then.
Okay.
So I consider it to be sort of Napoleon Dynamite-ish type humor in that. So basically what happens is Glenn Powell, who plays Chad Powers, he's college football quarterbacks playing in the championship game, blows the game, and then does some really stupid things kind of off the field and basically just gets like ostracized. Okay. So he goes from like he was going to go to the NFL to he doesn't get drafted to he's trying to make it in the XFL. He signs, but then they let him go because something happened. And he's just basically sort of at his wit's end, just doing some work for his dad on the side, but just, drinking. And then, one day he's sitting on the couch and he finds out that one of the, let's say, I guess, top 20 football teams in the country has lost their quarterback for the year. And they really don't have anybody good as a backup, so they're having open tryouts. Okay. So, now obviously everybody knows who he is. I mean, he's sort of a celebrity. He's kind of like infamous in a way. His father is in the entertainment business, and he's a makeup artist for the movies.
Okay.
And so he has access to all this stuff, and he decides, I'm going to show up just as somebody else, Chad Powers, right?
Yeah.
Now, what Amy and I found really funny, this is the part that some people might not.
Okay.
He basically, he comes up with a different voice than his regular voice. And essentially what he's doing is he's kind of taking on the persona of like somebody who was like homeschooled. All right, Amy, I am running a show here. This is the biz. So, he's basically, taking on the persona of somebody who like was homeschooled, is kind of like nerdy and dorky, And he's just saying all kinds of weird stuff because he's really bad at lying and making up lies, right? And so, like, just to give you like an idea of what it might be like, they're watching him throw, and they're like, "Where did you play your high school ball?" Right? And he'll just be like in this kind of a voice, didn't really play. And they'll be like, "Well, what do you mean you didn't really play?" Just played in the woods. He's like, "Well, I don't understand. I mean, like, your footwork is like amazing. I mean, you're changing direction. Like, I had to outrun the wolves." So we happen to find that really funny, but some people I could see might not.
Okay, all right.
But it was good. It's kind of like about, sort of like trying to come to terms with, your old self that, you didn't like, and wanting to be somebody else, and, kind of those themes throughout. So I give it a 2 thumbs up. It was a fun watch, 6 episodes. They're like 30 to 40 minutes each. Good times.
I think, you know what? I'll check it out. Leslie Rubenstein, or as we call her in our house, Lemmer, or the kids call Mom. She has a girls' night out, a Christmas party with her girlfriends on Saturday. Guess what I'm going to do? When's the Eagles game on? Is it Saturday night?
Saturday. It's on Saturday this week.
Is it night or during the day?
It's 5:00, so 4:00. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. All right. I can watch Eagles game, then I can watch Shed Powers.
Yeah. Are we going to do a post game live?
We should.
Okay.
We should do a post game live.
Right.
Let's tell our fans all about it.
Everybody tune in post game after the Eagles game, which begins at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Eagles at the Commanders without Jaden Daniels. Win and we're in.
Win and in. And we'll be on immediately after to break down the game and give the Grand Schwalbini and Rube's kind of the good, bad, and the ugly of what we just watched. So we encourage everyone to join us if you're around on Saturday night, whether you've had a cocktail or not, and feel free to comment as we are going through the recap. So I'm excited. Winning in, baby. Winning in.
Oh, just before we leave, Leslie says Absentia on Netflix. Now, you want to hear something funny, Rube?
Please do tell.
So we've seen Absentia.
Okay.
Have you seen all 3 seasons?
I haven't seen any of it. I think she watched it without me.
Oh, she's doing it on her own. Okay.
Yeah.
It's excellent. I love it.
Okay.
But you know what happens, and they throw you off. Like, Absentia comes on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, check it out. There's a new season for Absentia. We start watching it, and we're like, we've already watched this.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Okay.
I think what it was, like, I'm not 100% sure, but I think like Absentia was on another station. I think we watched it like on Prime, and now I guess like Netflix bought it and they put it on as something new, but it's not really new.
So they faked you out. They faked you out.
They faked me out, but it is really good. It's really
okay.
Good.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for watching. You can also catch us on the podcast, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts. Listen to the show on your own time. Enjoy yourself. And we will be back Saturday evening to recap, hopefully, the Eagles landing a playoff spot. I am now going to take us out with some good luck for the Eagles. I think.
Don't let the technical director see this.